Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Today is a historic day for college football. Just a few hours ago, it was announced that we would be seeing college football playoff expansion. Finally, the playoff will be expanded from 4 teams to 12 teams by 2026, but possibly earlier, as many of the commissioners and leaders across the country are trying to get this done by as early as 2024. So somewhere between 2024 and 2026, definitely by 2026, we will have an expanded college football playoff. And it's very fitting, guys. Just a few days ago on our live stream, we were talking about what a better playoff format would be. And do we agree with the potential of expansion? Do we want expansion? And if you've watched our channel for a while, you know we have been very adamant and been big supporters of expansion because we truly never felt that 4 teams was a true playoff. So this is a very, very big deal. It's historic for the game of football. It's historic for the fans. And it's going to give a lot of other teams that maybe missed out, maybe wrongfully missed out in the playoff, their opportunity to win a national championship, to compete for a national championship. So real quick, what does this mean? What does this expansion mean? It's not just saying, hey, the top 12 teams, 1 through 12, are going to the playoff. There's obviously a structure there. The way this new expansion will be structured is the 4 highest-ranked conference champions will be the top 4 seeds. The 4 highest-ranked conference champions will be 1 through 4, and they will all get a first-round bye. A first-round bye in this new playoff system. Teams 5 through 12 will play each other. So it'll be 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, 7, 10, 8, 9. Just like, your March Madness tournaments, right? That is how 5 through 12 will be slated. What's even better about this is the fact that the teams seeded 5 through 8 will get to host the game on campus. So we will see an on-campus playoff game for the 5, 12, 6, 11, 7, 10, and 8, 9 matchups. Whoever that highest seed is in that matchup will get to host the game on their home turf. So we will see playoff matchups being played on the campus of these programs going into the next round. So those quarterfinal games, when it gets narrowed down to 8 teams, that is when we will start shifting to the bowl rotations, those neutral site locations. So that's a big deal. Obviously, deserving to have home field advantage. These teams do, ranked 5 through 8. They deserve to have that. It'll be a completely different atmosphere. It'll be more competitive. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to completely change the landscape of college football. And if you want to take a look real quick, take a look at what a potential 2021 college football playoff would have been had we had 12 teams. You look at this, guys. You see those 4 teams with the bye weeks. Now, again, this structure wouldn't be the exact same, but you kind of get an idea. Obviously, Georgia did not win the SEC, so they would not have been a top 4 seed. You could argue that Cincinnati would not have been a top 4 seed because you could have argued that, a team like, Utah or Baylor or someone probably would have been the 4 seed. But regardless, you get the idea. You get the idea of how this structure could look. Those top 4 teams getting the bye. In this example here, Ole Miss would have hosted Oklahoma State, Notre Dame over Pittsburgh. And the beauty of this, guys, is that you look at this, I can guarantee you, had this been the way it was structured last year, and I can guarantee you going forward when this expansion really begins, that you would not have these top 4 teams in the semifinals. Last year, the playoff was Alabama versus Cincinnati, Georgia versus Michigan. If you look at this potential playoff bracket, I guarantee you those 4 teams, those wouldn't have been the semifinal matchups. Cincinnati would have had to get past either Notre Dame again, this time on a neutral site, or they would have had to get past the ACC champion in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett, pretty solid defense. They would have had to get past that. Georgia, what a matchup that would have been. Georgia, arguably the best defense in the country, would have probably faced off against the best offense in the country in Ohio State in that 3-6 matchup. There's no guarantee that Georgia would have survived that. Georgia, yes, won the national championship, but in this scenario, they could have lost in the quarterfinal round. Then down here, Michigan, phenomenal in the Big Ten last year. They could have played Michigan State again. We could have had a rematch from that thriller back in October, or they could have faced off against a very good Baylor team that, had they beaten TCU, would have been in the top 4 last year. So I can guarantee you that Bama, Cincinnati, Georgia, Michigan, they would not have all won their quarterfinal game. The playoff, the Final Four would have been different. And that's the beauty of this, guys. It's not about inclusiveness. It's not about giving other teams a chance. It's about seeing more competitive matchups, because last year's playoff games were garbage. Georgia blew out Michigan, Bama blew out Cincinnati, and typically we see big-time blowouts in these playoff games. Only a handful of the playoff games have been competitive and fun to watch. This is going to allow that. It's going to allow other teams to get in there, different teams to get in there, to have their shot. We're going to see closer games, not just from the first round, but all the way through the national championship. And it's going to be a bit of a tougher road to that national championship for the top dogs, for the guys that have those top 4 seeds. This is the way it needs to be. I personally don't think 12 was too much. I thought 8 through 12 was the best and the most ideal scenario for the playoff. I'm okay with 12. I like this format. Again, the 4 highest ranked conference champions getting that bye week, 5 through 12 playing each other, and that is your playoff through December through January. It's the best system. We're going to see closer games. We're going to see upsets. Teams are going to have to earn it. Not saying that they didn't have to earn their playoff spot before, but instead of having to win 1 game before playing for a national championship, you might have to play 2 or 3 if a team in that 5 through 12 range makes it. This is how it needs to be. This is a true playoff system, guys. This is a historic day for college football. And I will say that with all the changes that have been going around the country right now, we've had, the transfer portal. People are concerned about that. You're concerned about, realignments in the conferences. The leaders of the NCAA, the leaders of the conferences, the leaders of these programs finally got something right. They finally got something right with this playoff expansion, guys. A truly historic day for college football, and one that will greatly shape the way college football is played, the way it is operated, but will shape it for the better in the years to come. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Let us know what you think of this playoff expansion. 12 teams between 2024 or 2026. We want to hear from you, your thoughts on this. Leave it down in the comments below. Of course, check out everything down in the description below. Go sign up for those expert picks, because while we're talking about playoff expansion, that's not going to happen years from now. We've got college football tonight. We've got college football all day Saturday. So sign up for those expert picks so you can access all of our college football and NFL spread picks for the entire season, the ones that beat out 80% of the national analysts every single year. Take a look at that. Sign up today. Sign up for our Discord server to talk more about expansion and all the games happening tomorrow. We want you guys to become a part of our GE Nation. So make sure to sign up for all of that today. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.